Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Sunday morning the 29th of June and we're going back to Nova Scotia today to talk about the disappearance of 6-year-old Lily and her 4-year-old brother Jack Sullivan. They've been missing since May the 2nd from their Landsdowne Station home over there in Canada. A lot has happened over the last 8 weeks and we're getting to the point now where there's a lot of rumours, there's a lot of speculation, and we've got various family members who've come out and spoken. We've had Malehya, their mother, speaking the day after their disappearance, May the 3rd, and then shortly after she spoke to the media, she disappeared. Not literally disappeared, but she left. She left with baby Meadow, who was then 16 months old. Apparently, she's living with her mother, and the custody for baby Meadow is all up in the air. Daniel, stepdad, has spoken out numerous times, and in this video, we're going to look at some questions that he's answered in a Facebook group. We've also had grandma, paternal grandma, Belinda, come out speaking. She is Cody's mother, Cody being Lilly and Jack's bio dad. He hasn't spoken out, but he's nothing to do with Lilly and Jack's life. He hasn't seen them for the last 3 years, and given that Jack is only 4, certainly Jack, I don't think will remember him at all, and Lily may not even. So we've also had Daniel's cousin. We've had one of Malehya's cousins, someone called Darren, who is Malehya's grandma's cousin. So it makes him Malehya's first cousin twice removed. Have you had anybody else from the family? Can't think. Anyhow, several members of the family have spoken. But it's what Daniel has said that has posed the most interest, certainly for me. Because right from the jump, I thought there's something not right here. Daniel isn't quite telling the truth. There's something not right about this situation. I found it interesting that the behaviour panel covered his latest interview with CBC News, and they said that they didn't see deception, but they believe that he knows more than what he said so far. And he said that himself, that the stuff he can't say. There's more to this than meets the eye. I'm paraphrasing, but team that with the things that Darren has been saying, Malehya's first cousin twice removed, saying that Janie, Daniel's mother, who hasn't come out speaking, but she apparently saw Malehya on the driveway in the early morning of May the 2nd, and this was shortly after Malehya had put Lily and Jack in a car and they'd been driven away by someone, one of Malehya's friends, and they know exactly where the children are, at least Malehya does. Daniel is now coming out answering questions about this situation. And it's almost like he's doubling down on this, saying that Malehya will crack. So, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Let's go. Alright, so these are messages from a Facebook group. I've copied these from It's a Crime and Shame. Sunny has been sharing these from a Facebook group. Now, I know which Facebook group it is, but I'm not a member of that one, so I've applied to join because it's a private group, and I wouldn't normally share messages from a private group, but as Sunny has made them public, then I feel it's fine to share them here. The thing about the messages, though, it's just Daniel's responses rather than the questions as well. So I would prefer to see what questions he's actually answering. These are just Daniel's responses. They've just all been copied onto several slides. And these are at least several days old because that's Daniel's old profile picture. If we go to Daniel's Facebook, this is his old profile picture. I'm not showing the full picture because his children are on here. But this is a picture of all the children together. So Lily and Jack are somewhere here. And then Daniel has a son and a daughter from a previous relationship. And of course, that's Meadow. But what you can see from this is, you can see You got Daniel, Malehya, that's Daniel's daughter. So you can see that that is that picture. But he changed it. He changed it on June 24th. He changed it to a picture of him and Meadows. So these are at least 4 days old. At least. They may be way older. I don't know. But just noting that that is Daniel's old profile picture. Okay, so she will go as long as she can, referring to Malehya, I assume. Not having the question, though, is a little bit annoying. But will crack after her mental health is put to the test with exams. Well, apparently she's taken a polygraph. He said this on the interview with CBC News. So what exams? I don't know. I'm saying too much. I believe they're alive. So presumably this is a question about Lilly and Jack. And Malehya knows who drove them off the property. So he's now telling the same story that Darren told. He's now doubling down on Darren's story. But could it be that Darren has been told a pack of lies and Daniel is in on that pack of lies, and that him and his mother together have come up with this pack of lies to throw the scent off him? It's very possible that Darren is in good faith talking about this, that Daniel's mother Janie has told him, but it's lies, it's not true. So we've got to keep an open mind. Everything is on the table. Like I said, there's lots of rumours, lots of speculation. But when the family members are coming out speaking, then we've got to listen. And we've got to give those words careful consideration. Because these are not just random people making random statements. These are family members who have direct contact with Malehya. Or at least had direct contact with Malehya, either just before the children disappeared or during the children's disappearance. So we've got to think about everything from every angle. So I'm not saying that what Darren has said is true and that it's Malehya that arranged the children's disappearance and it's Malehya who knows exactly where they are, because this could have been a story concocted by Daniel and Janie to throw everyone off the scent. And Janie has been talking to Darren, and Darren has fallen for this story. I'm not saying that that's what's happened. I'm just saying that we've got to keep an open mind as to that being a possibility. But anyway, Daniel is doubling down on the version of events that Darren has been going with. Malehya will crack soon. Not one person in her family speaks to bring the kids home, which is true. No one knew it started after Meadow was born. Don't know what that's referring to, maybe postnatal depression. I don't know. She also said the kids are in the woods. Stupid me believed that, and I searched and searched. They can't, then the kids would be moved to a different location. Don't know what that's referring to. Next one. I don't know whether these are in order of how he answered things. Yeah, she wanted birth certificate, school pics, and one stuffed animal for Lilly and Jack. No one good thing. She went on and on about trauma. For the first year, over and over, I had to say to her, stop it. Again, don't know what that's referring to. Maybe Malehya's mental health. So in the first year that she was with Daniel, she would talk about trauma a lot. Don't know. It's not her hiding them. So it's not her hiding them. It's someone that she knows is hiding them. However, Malehya knows where they are. So they're not missing because Malehya knows where they are. I can't go on to the reserve she belongs to. It's dangerous for me. She doesn't have the mental foresight to understand the complex nature of what she was about to do. 2 missing kids at the same time, 1 in a million, yeah. Now, she doesn't have the mental foresight. So I've contemplated, I've speculated on this in past videos. Was Malehya desperate to get away? Did she want to leave? But instead of just leaving, she listened to a friend who concocted some kind of elaborate ruse, and Malehya went along with it. And she didn't have the mental foresight to understand, at least in that moment, that this was going to create a major search. Anything's possible. She fell in love with Meadow, and Jack and Lily fell to the wayside. I lived it. I took care of Lily and Jack. She only cared for Meadow. Isn't it bizarre that if she had postnatal depression after Meadow was born, you would think it would be Meadow that she'd struggle to care for? And, you know, you'd think that it would be the stepdad that would dote on his biological daughter, and it would be Lily and Jack who would be put by the wayside in his mind. It seems like some kind of weird role reversal. But again, I'm not saying that that didn't happen. I'm saying that it's unusual. And then there are some questions in these ones. Can you please tell us, Daniel, what you believe Lily and Jack were wearing? I wore both during the search, navy blue, one first night, and white one second day. I assume that that's replying to somebody else. It's responding to a question, maybe about what items Malehya took of his. Okay, that's wild. I can't tell you because it's part of the investigation. It was a normal day for me, but she had different plans. They don't have on what we think they had on. I'll leave it there. I'm playing with fire, speaking out. Okay, playing with fire, speaking out. She doesn't want them, only Meadow. Was Malehya good around your kids? My kids, yes. Great with mine. Her Barbie top is here at my place. So I'm guessing that will be Lily's Barbie top. I have everything the kids own and all Malehya's belongings as well. Nothing took nothing except 2 of my shirts she stole. 1 dark navy and 1 white. So the ones that he was wearing May 2nd and May 3rd. So why would she take those? The clothes were something, I don't know what that emoji is. That morning by whom? We don't get an answer to that. Is her lawyer family or criminal, do you know? We both have family lawyers. Court battle for Meadow. So Malehya's lawyer is a family lawyer. So we have to assume that these posts are genuine. I'm making an assumption there. Sonny says these are from a Facebook group, but they don't look like Facebook group posts to me. They look more like messenger posts. Maybe. So it's interesting. It's interesting that Daniel is doubling down on Darren's story. Again, it's all rumour, it's all conjecture, very little coming out from the RCMP. So, you know, if you want people to continue to cover this story, then these are the kind of things that are going to be talked about. If you don't like that, then stop following the case, I would say. Every time I post a video about Lily and Jack, I have a handful of people who are rude, I mean really rude, and end up getting banned. I don't mind people having different opinions. That's great. It all makes the world go around, but you got to be respectful. So if you're rude, you're abusive, then you're going to get blocked. It's as simple as that. But I do have a handful every time saying, you know, stop speculating, shame on you, that kind of thing. But the case is almost 2 months old, and there's so many people coming out speaking. If you want to cover the case, this is what is there to cover. So if you don't like it, stop following the case. Simple as that. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I know you will. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Cassie, this way. Come on. This way. Cassie, you're not meant to be on the pitch.